What is defamation, though, from a legal standpoint? It is a tort. And on that, it is a strict liability tort. So that means that once the primary elements are established, you don't need to actually prove damages or falsity in order to have an actionable tort. So you can be liable for damages as soon as the core elements are proved. And we will get into what those elements are in just a second. So a kind of way to summarize the tenet, the key matter of what defamation is that it's a false statement about an individual, business, or organization that harms their reputation and is communicated to a third party. So breaking that down into a few components, we have three items here. One is that the statement is false. That's one of the most important pieces. If it's not false, then it is not actionable. So we'll see also shortly that justification or the truth of the statement is one of the strongest defenses you can have. And as soon as that's proved, it's not defamatory and it's not actionable. So that's one thing that's important to keep in mind. Second is that it lowers the individual's reputation in the eyes of a reasonable person. So, there's a bit to unpack there, but it means that I am making a statement that lowers the reputation. So it could be professionally, it can be, in any context, one that, harms or lowers the reputation. And the bar there is quite low, to be honest. It's easy to make an argument that someone's reputation is lowered. So that's kind of something that can be established, fairly quickly. In that, what's important is that the statement has to be able to identify an individual. So again, this is relevant, particularly to writers, as something to keep in mind. If you ever have any concerns about the nature of what you're writing, again, ask yourself, can you identify with confidence who the subject matter is of this statement? Because tailoring the writing to lower this question is something that we advise quite often when we're talking about this topic with our clients. So kind of masking or altering writing in some way to make it so that the precise individual is not identifiable is a strong practice. Just in general, it lowers risks significantly. And lastly, and maybe more obviously, is that the statement has to be communicated to a third party. So this can be as little as one single person, but it has to be communicated in some way. Although it's not, it doesn't really matter if it's intentional or careless. It's simply the fact that it's communicated either orally or through written word. Either can constitute defamation. And as you see here, if the statement is written, it constitutes libel, and if it's an oral statement, it constitutes, or the term is slander. So this is kind of like the main summary of what defamation is.